Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Huge new development as Liverpool confident of completing crucial deal. Liverpool fans will be relieved to hear there have reportedly been positive developments on the future of star centre-back Ibrahima Konate. The France international is in the final year of his contract at Anfield, and this has led to plenty of speculation over his future. It seems, however, that Liverpool are now confident of keeping Konate on a new deal, according to Defensa Central. The report states that this has led Real Madrid to look at other options instead, with the piece listing players like Crystal Palace's Mark Guehi and Nottingham Forest's Murillo as alternatives. This could end up being a big boost for Liverpool, as it would stop them having to enter the market for a new defender. Themselves, keeping Ibrahima Konate is the best option for Liverpool. Konate has been a rock-solid partner alongside Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool for the last few years, and it would surely be hard to find a replacement for the 26-year-old. It's easy to imagine Konate being a fine signing for Real Madrid, but perhaps they're no longer optimistic that a deal can be done. Signing Konate on a free would have been superb business, but it seems like there'll be other options available to them. Liverpool, hoping to avoid another Real Madrid raid, LFC fans will have bad memories when it comes to players coming towards the end of their contracts, as they ended up losing Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid this year. The England international ran down his deal and ultimately swapped Anfield for the Bernabeu, so it could be that Konate would be tempted to do the same. We'll have to see how this saga develops. But this latest update perhaps suggests Liverpool now have more hope of holding on to this particular contract rebel. Liverpool cult hero makes feelings clear on Luis Diaz's exit with regret claim. Emile Heskey, former Liverpool striker, has voiced his opinion that the club will not regret the decision to sell Luis Diaz, but he also emphasized the need for patience as Florian Wirtz acclimatizes to life on Merseyside. Heskey, a crucial member of the Reds' treble-winning squad in 2001, believes the sale of Diaz to Bayern Munich in July was a sound business move. He suggests that the departure of the Colombian winger has opened up an opportunity for Cody Gakpo, who, despite 3 consecutive losses against Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, and Chelsea, is yet to make his mark in the Liverpool team this season. "I think Gakpo needs to come into his own," Heskey told Pundit Arena. "I think he's got to show a little bit more, especially on that left wing. He needs to show a little bit more for me. I was hoping he could be the one that would be stepping into that void that Luis Diaz has left. I don't think they regret selling Diaz, though. Business is business. No matter how much a team spends on a player, they're still going to need a little period of bedding in, and it might be longer for some than others. When you look at Luis Suarez, he hit the ground running. But not every player's like that. Wirtz is needing that bedding in period, especially with the price tag, because that will be in his head as well. I don't think Wirtz's start would have dented his confidence. Sometimes you've got to take someone out of the firing line. You've got to remember this, and we talk about it all the time, with this being the toughest league in the world and being the most relentless as well. So some players need to be taken out the firing line and taken out the firing line for their own good. Because if you ask the player, they'll say, "No, keep me playing." And it might not be right for them. So sometimes you take them out the firing line, give them a little freshen up, and then put them back in and slowly bring them back into the team. When you look at the intensity that he has to play at in this Liverpool side, I doubt he would have had to play like that ever before. So he's got to get used to that. And then as well, when you're talking about defensively, you've got to say some of the Premier League defenses are the best in the world. So I think you've just got to give the players like Wirtz time. Liverpool returns to Premier League action on Sunday when it welcomes Manchester United to Anfield, with Arne Slot heading into English soccer's most-watched match on the back of his worst spell as Reds manager, having suffered 3 consecutive defeats before the international break. Former England forward Heskey continued. Defensively, he wants to get things solid again. Konate and Van Dijk were solid last season, but it just looks a little bit jaded. Obviously, with the fullbacks, Trent's not there anymore. Frimpong and Kirkez are just bedding in. So Slot is trying to find that match that Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate, and Trent had. They were solid, and he's got to try and find that again. It might not look exactly the same, but it's got to have some sort of solidity to it. If you're talking about out-and-out strikers, I'd rather have Isak starting than Ekitike because I've seen him do it before. Don't get me wrong, I think Ekitike has done fantastic, and he's got so much to give. I'd be interested to see if it could be done with two of them up front or one of them. On the left, drifting in with Kerkez coming and overlapping a little bit more. Liverpool star makes Alexander Isak admission after star's move. A little unfortunate. Liverpool star Cody Gakpo admits Alexander Isak's lack of preseason was a little unfortunate, with the British record signing yet to hit top gear since his deadline day move from Newcastle. Isak was regarded as one of the best strikers in the world. During his time at Newcastle, which saw them scoop $125 million from his move to Anfield, but the Swede has scored just once in his 6 outings across all competitions in red. The saga involving Isak's Newcastle exit dragged on for much of the summer and eventually saw Eddie Howe manage his first team squad without the striker, who had to train solo away from the first team. He failed to feature in any preseason games, so has come to Liverpool lacking match sharpness. Isak was one of several major arrivals. Florian Wirtz, another British record signing at the time, and Hugo Ekitike both moved to Anfield and have been part of an attack that is yet to properly gel. Gakpo believes there are positives, but the minor issues have stacked. He told Premier League Productions, "I think it's always been difficult when new players come in to adapt to the team. But I think now when we have a lot of new players, sometimes it's difficult when you change the team. We lost also a lot of players who were here for a long time. We were together for a few good years now. So some players left, Luis Diaz left, Darwin Núñez left, Jarell Quansah left, and Harvey Elliott left as well. Then you have to replace them, and new players come in, and you need to make it fit. I think that's going well. We try to get to know each other every day better and better again. It's also a little unfortunate with Alex Isak, who didn't really have a preseason. It's all these things together, but I think we will find a way forward." Questions were raised when Liverpool continued to push for Isak, despite already having Ekitike in the building. He joined from Frankfurt in a deal worth 79 meters and scored in his first 3 outings, but his best moments had come as a no-9, which was also Isak's position. Arne Slot is under pressure to make his lavishly assembled front line tick, but has claimed that the two players can play effectively together. "There is no headache at all, because I even think that these two players are happy that we have them both," he said. Dissatisfied. Liverpool striker Alexander. Isak fumes over crisis situation. Liverpool striker Alexander. Isak didn't hold back with his assessment of Sweden's struggles after Monday's defeat by Kosovo in World Cup qualifying. The loss leaves Sweden on 1 point after 4 games, and on the brink of missing out on next summer's tournament in North America. After qualifying for 4 World Cups out of a possible 5 between 1990 and 2006, failure to make it into the 2026 World Cup will signal a 4th failure to qualify in 5 attempts for Sweden, after also missing out in 2010, 2014, and 2022. "It's a bit of a crisis situation, and that's clear," Isak said of Sweden's current qualifying campaign. "I don't know what we're going to do. But it's all too bad. The Reds' record signing was at a loss to explain Sweden's shocking qualifying campaign. Sweden must now win its final 2 qualifiers against Switzerland and Slovenia in November, and hope Kosovo loses its qualifiers against the same opponent to ensure it has any chance of making it to the tournament. I don't know why the team isn't doing well," he added. "It's a combination of everything. We're playing too badly. The way we're playing doesn't work. We're doing it too badly individually, too. So it's a combination of everything, really." There has been a negative development in the way that the team plays, at least during the spring and since the World Cup qualifiers began. There has been no progress, and it's disappointing. Isak refused to get drawn into talk about Sweden manager Jon Dahl Tomasson's future, and said that everyone involved in the national team setup is responsible for its struggles. "We players are so dissatisfied," he said. And as I've said before, we take a lot of responsibility ourselves. We look at ourselves in the mirror. And no one is approved. Not us players, not us as a team. And that, of course, includes the coach and everything around. But those questions about calls for Thomasson to be fired, we don't get involved in them. Sweden's players were booed by their own supporters after the final whistle in Gothenburg, and Isak admitted he fully understood the reaction of the fans. "It's not fun," he said. "It's not fun to be booed. At the same time, you can't demand much more. We have underperformed enormously. It's sad that we are in this situation." Harry Kane sent fresh transfer message as agent clarifies rival's future. Harry Kane has been urged to sign for Barcelona with Robert Lewandowski's future in Spain up in the air. The Polish striker sees his contract in Catalonia expire next summer, while Kane has a release clause written into his contract with Bayern Munich. As it stands, talks over a deal for Lewandowski at the new camp have not yet borne fruit, and his agent, Pini Zahavi, has suggested that a decision over Lewandowski's long-term future has yet to be taken, indicating his client could decide to move on. Lewandowski's contract with Barcelona expires in the summer of 2026, and no decisions have been made yet, Zahavi is quoted as saying by Sport. "We have to wait and see what happens in the coming days. There is nothing official regarding negotiations with Saudi Arabian teams. There are no offers at this time." Losing Lewandowski, 37, would be a major blow for Barcelona, with the striker netting 105 goals in just 156 appearances for the Spanish Giants. But Kane has now been touted as a potential replacement, with former Tottenham man Gus Poyet suggesting that the England captain should be open to a switch to Barca should his release clause be met. Speaking to Goal, he said, "If he wants something different for his family, I would definitely go to Barcelona, if Lewandowski leaves. It will be completely different to everything that he had before. Also, the style of play at Barcelona. Right now, a player like him up front, he will score. Wow, will he score?" There has been a bit of criticism from Michael Owen saying he can't believe he left. I don't know if he read it and maybe thought about the Premier League and coming back. It is very particular to him. Family is going to be very important to his decision next year. Much like Lewandowski, Kane's future is up in the air. The England striker remains under contract until 2027, but has already been tipped for a move away from Bayern Munich. He has a 56 million release clause written into his deal with Bayern Munich that will become active next summer, but there are a few caveats, such as having to make his current employers aware before the end of the January transfer window should he intend to leave. Kane's former club Tottenham have been linked with a sensational move that will see him return to North London. He, however, remains open to extending his stay in Bavaria. Speaking while on England duty, the 32-year-old said, "I have not had those conversations with Bayern yet, but if they were to arise, I would be willing to talk and have an honest conversation. Obviously, it depends on how the next year or so goes and what we achieve together. Right now, I would say we are in a fantastic moment, and I am not thinking about anything else. In terms of the Premier League, I don't know. If you had asked me when I first left to go to Bayern, I would have said for sure I would come back. Now I have been there a couple of years. I would probably say that has gone down a little bit. Not so much. But I wouldn't say I would never go back. What I have learned in my career is that different opportunities and different timings happen and things fall in place. Going back to my first point with Bayern right now, I am fully all in with Bayern." Reasons why Liverpool icon Steven Gerrard turned down sensational comeback. Steven Gerrard had three main reasons for declining the offer from Rangers in the club's quest for a new manager. The championship-winning Ibrox boss was the top choice for American owners Andrew Kavanagh and 49ers Enterprises to replace Russell Martin. The Liverpool and Premier League legend was also the fans' preferred choice for a comeback, but after 2 days of discussions in London, Gerrard withdrew his candidacy. Now, former Sheffield Wednesday manager Danny Roll and Shanghai Port's Kevin Muscat are the frontrunners for the available position. However, the reasons behind Gerrard's decision to decline the opportunity to return to Glasgow have now come to light. Gerrard ultimately felt the timing wasn't right, a factor in the decision-making process for the ex-Aston Villa and Al Ettifaq manager. TalkSport has since noted that Gerrard had some reservations about working under the current Rangers sporting structure following face-to-face discussions, a structure overseen by sporting director Kevin Thelwell. This decision is not said to be a personal issue with Thelwell, who joined from Everton in the summer, but rather due to Gerrard's desire for more autonomy, similar to his first stint in the Ibrox dugout. It was also mentioned that Gerrard was wary about the challenge of turning Rangers' fortunes around mid-season. The club is currently struggling in 8th place in the Scottish Premiership, and the incoming manager will face significant pressure to turn around a disappointing campaign. Gerrard reportedly wants to bide his time and would be more inclined to take a job over a summer when he's got a full season ahead of him. His decision apparently caught some within Rangers' senior hierarchy by surprise, sending them back to square one in their quest to find a replacement for Martin before the league resumes after the international break. Gerrard is best known for his time at Liverpool, where he played more than 700 first-team games and won countless trophies, including the 2005 Champions League. After a brief spell in the United States with LA Galaxy, Gerrard stepped into management with Rangers, winning the Scottish Premiership in 2021 to end Celtic's dominance in the league. He joined Aston Villa in November 2021 and, despite a brief upturn in results, ultimately failed to get the best out of his squad and was replaced by Unai Emery within a year. He then spent around 18 months in charge of Saudi club Al Ettifaq, but left at the beginning of 2025. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.